Moving from the courts, Agri-Vie, the private equity fund focused on food and agribusiness investments in Sub-Saharan Africa, has announced a 63% stake in Cape Olive Holdings. Joining me in our Cape Town studio now for a closer look at this deal is Herman Marais, MD of Agri-Vie. Herman, thank you so much for making the time to talk to us. Very briefly, what has attracted you to Cape Olive? Understanding, of course, that they are the largest table olive supplier, but there must be more to the story than meets the eye.
Good evening and thank you for the opportunity. Agri-Vie is an investor in food and agribusiness. The condiments category into which broadly we would position the table olive product is one of the fastest growing sectors in the broader food game. This company is a sought after player in the condiment sector, specifically in table olive. It's got the leading table olive brand in South Africa, and it has tremendous growth potential. So put those two together with competent management and a quality product, and it makes for an attractive investment opportunity.
Let's look at growth potential in a little bit more detail. I understand that you might be considering greater exposure to African markets. Give us a little bit more on that potential.
As we see the consumer spending in the consumer markets of the broader Sub-Saharan Africa rapidly expanding, and that expansion is to a large extent, as you might know, fueling the economic growth in several of the countries in Sub-Saharan Africa. So also does consumption of additional and expanded FMCG products increase, including in food. The condiments category specifically tends to grow fast on such momentum. And so export opportunities for proven products of a quality nature, such as produced by Cape Olive, expands, and that makes for good business. That goes hand in hand with the expansion of the food and agribusiness related markets and associated investment opportunities, such that an investment fund such as Agri-Vie is now able to structure a new fund as inviting new investment, building on the momentum of its first investment fund.
Perhaps talk to us a little bit about, how are you ensuring that you're able to optimize on volumes from orchards, because this could potentially be one of the vulnerable points for the business.
We do a very careful evaluation of the growth potential volume-wise of a business like this before we invest. And we also look at the potential to expand the range being produced under the brand. This particular business is vertically integrated. It produces, it processes, it distributes under its own brand, Buffet Olives. So after having done that evaluation, we are comfortable that given the presence of a brand and the ability to expand the range of products under that brand, that there's more than solid prospects for growth going forward.
Of course, if we look at the South African context, we're seeing an increasing number of competitors in that particular space. What does this mean for how you're going to ensure further differentiation and greater competitiveness as you take on the increased number of players in this particular market?
I think you're absolutely right, and that is a key challenge that local manufacturers and processors in the food sector is facing, not only in South Africa, but certainly also in other parts of the geography, where increasingly multinationals and other regional players are recognizing the market opportunity and are stepping up to that opportunity. And that raises the bar for local enterprises to step up their game in terms of competitiveness. And that is exactly what Agri-Vie does when it works in partnership with its founding partners in the businesses where it invests. So we engage with our founding partners to structure a program in the business concerned to drive for that differentiation that you are referring to, and also to drive for quality and efficiency, and in that way enable the business to lift its game to a next level, to be able to compete successfully with regional and even international competition.
Of course, lifting the game would also mean that you're looking for an excellent return on this investment that you've made. Can you share with us some of your investment return expectations or revenue expectations in particular?
Look, I think you will find that equity investors, whether they are originating from funds or from individuals and founding shareholders, are looking for a return that is adjusted to the risk of putting equity to work in a manufacturing and processing and distribution business. And our expectations are no dissimilar. So you would typically find that equity investments in the sector over a range of different kinds of companies and subsectors, investors would typically look to generate a return of 2 to 3 times their initial investment, depending on the term and the horizon of their investment.
Very quickly before I let you go, of course, the Cape Olive brand is a significant brand in this particular space. How are you hoping to leverage the brand to make inroads into other sectors, for example, hotels and restaurants or the broader hospitality industry?
The company is already active in those market segments that you are referring to. Since it has a strong brand in the form of buffet olives, it creates an opportunity to expand the penetration in those particular market segments. So our task as an active shareholder and as a partner to the management of the company would be to stimulate further growth into those segments, and also to enter new markets and over time introduce new products under the brand in the broader Mediterranean and condiments category.